Hi, so I have a question today specifically about my gender specialty. So I'm a gender specialist, which means that part of my specialty is working with transgender individuals or non-binary, genderqueer, even folks who are exploring their gender, questioning their gender, all of those things. That's a part of my practice, and the specific question is. Why, if being trans isn't itself something wrong with me, why might I want to see a gender specialist or a gender therapist? And if I'm seeing a specialist, does that mean that I can't address other issues besides gender? Does everything always have to be about gender? And the really simple answer to that is absolutely not. Everything does not have to be about gender. Nothing has to be about gender unless that's what's up for you and that's what you want to be working on in therapy. Now, I imagine that there may be some gender specialists out there who specifically work just on some aspect of the transition, meaning you really do go to them only for the gender transition piece, whether that's letters of support, the gatekeeping, so to speak. That wouldn't be me. So I do the gatekeeping. You'll see my eyes roll because I am a proponent of the informed consent model, which is really about autonomy for all humans. They get to decide what to do with their bodies. That includes transgender individuals. I really don't feel like mental health is an appropriate place to have a gatekeeper for transgender individuals. But since that is still the system that we are working within, I can serve in that capacity. I can write letters of support for certain aspects of medical transition. It depends on what your insurance company or third payer pays. So if you have questions about that, feel free to contact me. But specifically to this question that I was asked, the reason that I feel it's always important for me to state my gender specialty, even if folks may not want to necessarily be working on their gender, is if it were me personally, when I am searching for a therapist, it's really important to me that I know ahead of time before I even waste my time going into a session or looking or talking to them on the phone, to know that that therapist is trans affirming, is LGBTQIA affirming, even if the reason that I'm going to see a therapist doesn't have anything to do with my involvement in any of those letters, right? Because I need to know that all aspects of myself aren't going to be pathologized, I'm not going to go to a therapist, develop a rapport with that therapist, and then somewhere down the line mention some key component of my identity and discover that that person has a prejudice, because that would be devastating for me as an individual client. And so I am really vocal about my advocacy and support of the trans community. I think it's so important for everybody, but especially marginalized communities, especially transgender communities, especially in the current environment that we're in. Know up front that I am a safe place, that I am affirming of everybody's gender identity, and that even regardless of where you are in the transition process, even if you never want to talk about gender, I'm a safe person to come to. So I hope that answers your question. And if you have a question that you would like to see answered here on video, go ahead and submit it to me via email, recapearl@gmail.com. That's REACAPEARL@gmail.com. Or you can visit me on my website at recapearl.com. I'll see you again real soon.